Hello Udemy, I am Shakzee from Shakzee.com and welcome in lecture number 11. Today we are going to learn the form helper in CodeIgniter. Make sure this is the fast track of CodeIgniter and we are going to create our forms using form helpers. So go to your home controller. You can see we have only a single controller named home, and we have an index method. I have to copy this, and now I'm going to create another method which is my upload. Okay, now leave it. Why I am doing this? Because whenever you say, oh sir, please give us a source code, so I will give you the source code. So that's why I'm keeping all of these code, all of these functions, so you can easily access these. Okay, so now before using any helper, you have to load your helper. So first of all, load your helper. This loads, and now I'm going to load an helper which is form helper. Okay, go to your controller and make sure main controller, which is your home controller. You can see it's working fine. Whenever you provide any wrong helper, go to your page, you refresh the page, you can see it's saying unable to load the request helpers. This helper is not available. Okay, so now we have successfully loaded our helper. First of all, I have to open my form open. It takes some parameters. Okay, now I have to close the form close. Make sure you have to echo both of these, echo. Now go to your page, refresh the page, you can see nothing has happened. Go to right click, view page source. Now you can see you have just created a form, and you can see you are closing the form, and it's automatically generating the action, and the method is equals to post accept character set UTF-8. okay, now if you are saying, oh please submit this form, home my submit, go to your page, refresh the page, you can see you have just provide the controller name and the method name also. Okay, so now how can you create your input? So it's form input, it takes few parameters. You can see it takes 3 parameters. First of all, the data. I'm saying that this is name, and what is the value of this? I'm saying nothing. And the extra, it takes, you can pass your class here. If you have multiple attributes you are going to pass in this input field, you can pass an associative array as well. So I'm saying class equals to my class, and if I'm going to provide another attribute which is ID, now I have to say that this is my ID. Okay, so now go to your page, refresh the page, you can see you have just created input field. And now how can you create your button? I'm saying okay, form submit, it takes 2 parameters. What is the name of your button? First suppose I'm saying upload, and the value is, I'm saying upload. Refresh the page, you can see you have just created a button. Right click, view page source, you have your form, you have your input type equals to text, value is nothing because you are not providing the value here. If you are providing the value, for suppose in this time I'm saying Shakzee, and refresh the page, you can see now by default the value is Shakzee. Okay, so now how can you create your drop down? So you can see it takes few parameters. First of all, okay, First of all, the field name, in this time I'm saying city, and options. What are options? For suppose I am creating an associative array. In this array I'm saying for suppose Karachi equals to Karachi, and I am going to create another city. I am saying Islamabad equals to Islamabad. Okay, now I'm going to keep this array inside a variable my cities. Now you can pass this associative array in the option fields. Go to your field, refresh the page. You can see you have two drop down menu. One is Karachi, second is Islamabad. You can also check view page source. You can see you have your select name city, and the values are, the options are Karachi and Islamabad. You can if you are saying by default, you can now you can see the by default is Karachi. If you are saying that the by default city is Islamabad, just pass the third parameter and one of these keys. Okay, refresh the page. You can see now the by default value is Islamabad. Okay, in the extra field, if you are giving a class, it's fine. You can provide a class like this, my class or my class. Refresh the page and view page source. You can see you have a name city and you have a my class. Okay, if you are providing more than one column, for suppose if you have more than one column, how can you do that? You can just pass the associative array here. Okay, you can provide the associative array like this. Copy this, paste this here, refresh the page. You can see you are saying my class and my ID. In this way you can define your forms, or you can create your forms. And now how can you create your hidden fields? First of all, echo form underscore hidden. It takes few parameters. For suppose name of your hidden field. For suppose I am saying my hidden. This is the name of my hidden. So you can fetch this value at your backend by providing this value. Okay, I am saying XYZ is a hidden value. Okay, leave the third parameter. Go to your page, refresh the page. You can see you have a hidden value named my hidden, and value is XYZ. Okay, so you have just created the hidden value. Okay, if you want to create a password, input password, it takes few parameters, like 3 parameters. Your password, for suppose my password, this is the field name and the value of your password, and you can pass an associative array here. It's totally depend upon you. And now I'm saying this is my just class. I'm not passing an associative array. Go to your page, refresh the page. You can see now it's we have just created a password here also. Okay, so now you have just created a password, and if you want to create a upload file, for suppose I'm saying just create a file so we can upload my file. Okay, you can here is your field, my file, or this is the value name. You can pass your value, and you can pass your extra attributes here. For suppose if you are passing more than one attribute, for suppose class ID, so you can pass associative array here. Okay, it's totally depend upon you. I am saying this is my class. Go to your page, refresh the page. You can see we have just created the file, and you can also view page source. So you have an input type equals to file. You are just using the functions and you are passing some arguments. Now it's the duty of CodeIgniter. It's automatically generating the code for you. Okay, So how can you create your text area? In simple words, you can create your text area by using form underscore text area. It takes few parameters. Okay, the field name, my text area, the value, and your extra means your attributes. So you can, if you are providing single attribute, you can pass this attribute like this. If you are going to pass multiple attributes, you can use your associative array also. So you can pass your associative array here. So it's totally depend upon you. In this time I'm saying my class means I'm just saying this is my class. Refresh the page. You can see we have just created a text area for you, and you have learned how can. Now first, suppose if you are saying that this is the drop down menu, the multiple select, how can you create a field which has multiple select? So in simple words, you can form, and this is multi selects. It takes few parameters. For suppose field name, for suppose my field, and options you can pass like this. I'm passing the associative array because these are the options. I'm saying the Islamabad is by default value, or I'm saying it's nothing. Go to your field, refresh the page. You can see you can select multiple fields like this. Okay, so you learn how can you create your form, how can you close your form, drop down, text area, form, header field, and submit button. Whenever you hit the submit button, you can see it's now submitting to your my submit method. You can see we don't have any my submit method. Okay, so now in this way you can create your forms field like this. Or in simple words, if you are saying that you have a checkbox, so you can create your checkbox like this. Your field name, for suppose my checkbox, your value goes here. It's by default checked or not. You can pass true or false. For suppose I'm saying true. You can pass associative array if you are sending more than one attribute, or you can create your class. For suppose my class, go to your page, refresh the page. You can see we have just created refresh the page. You can see we have just created a checkbox with checked value. You can see if you can pass false in the third parameter of your checkbox, you can see it's now by default nothing. You can checkbox like this. Okay, now if you want to create the radio button, how can you create your radio button? Form radio, it takes 4 parameters like your checkbox, and for suppose your field name my radio, and your value by default it's checked or not. You can pass false if you are not checking by default. You can send extra class or associative array here. Go to your page, refresh the page. You can see we have just created a radio button. And finally, if you want to create a label, you can use your label like this, or you can pass multiple 3 parameters. Text, for suppose label text here, and what is the ID? You can I'm saying my ID, or your attributes. You can pass associative array also. Oh, okay, now you can see we have just created a label, view page source. You can see we have created the HTML form using the form helper. So in this way you can create your forms by using the form helper. So I think this is enough for today. In the next lecture we are going to cover our library section, and in our later lectures I am going to explain how can you validate your forms when you are validating your form at the back end. Okay, so I think this is enough for today. So thank you for watching.